We use it every single day, but have you ever really stopped to ask the most basic question of all? What actually is money? It sounds so simple, right? But the answer? Well, it's probably a lot more surprising than you think.
Okay, just think about your day so far. That coffee you grabbed on the way to work, maybe the bus fare, you probably just tapped your card or your phone, maybe used some cash, and didn't think twice about it. Super simple, but what if you couldn't? I mean, how would you actually get that coffee if money just didn't exist? What could you possibly offer the barista? A half-eaten sandwich? A promise to sing them a song? It sounds like a ridiculous question, but it gets right to the very heart of why we invented money in the first place. So, to really understand what money is, we first have to imagine a world completely without it. A world that ran on a system that had one really big, really inefficient problem. Yeah, before money, there was barter. The idea is simple enough. I have something you want, you have something I want, so we just trade. If I'm a chicken farmer and you're a baker, maybe I trade you a dozen eggs for a loaf of bread. Seems fair, but oh man, does it get complicated and fast. So here's the real kicker with bartering. Economists have a fancy term for it. They call it the double coincidence of wants. All that means is the baker has to want my eggs at the exact same time that I want his bread. What if he's got plenty of eggs, or he's on a diet? Well, then there's no deal. I don't get any bread. See how messy that is? Money solves all of that. It's this one thing that everybody agrees has value, making the whole process simple and super fast. Humanity clearly needed a better system, and the solution that finally came along was, well, it was absolutely revolutionary. But it wasn't a new tool or some fancy new technology. It was something way, way bigger than that. And this is the most important part of this whole explainer. The real power of money isn't in the metal coin or the piece of paper itself. Nope, it's in our shared belief. It's all of us together just agreeing that this thing, whatever it is, has value and we can trade it for pretty much anything else. It's like a giant social contract. And that right there brings us to the actual definition. See, money isn't just one thing. It can be anything as long as people in a group generally accept it as payment. Historically, people have used all kinds of stuff. Seashells, salt, cool-looking beads, you name it. As long as the group agrees that it works, then guess what? It is money. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Money is, at its core, a tool for convenience. It's that trusted middleman that cuts out all the hassle of bartering. It lets us trade with each other on a massive scale that would be totally impossible otherwise. All right, so that core idea, that shared agreement, has taken a whole bunch of different forms over the centuries. Let's take a quick look at how that one simple concept has evolved into the kinds of money we actually have in our pockets, or, on our phones today. Today, we've got several types of money all existing at once. You've got your physical cash, the coins and banknotes you can actually hold in your hand. Then there's digital money, which is really just numbers in a bank's computer system that we get to with our cards and apps. And now, of course, we have cryptocurrencies, which are a totally new kind of digital money that isn't controlled by a central bank or a government. But here's the thing. Whether it's a shiny metal coin, a number on your banking app, or a line of computer code on a blockchain, the principle underneath it all is exactly the same. Its value comes from one place and one place only, our collective agreement to accept it as payment. That's it. Okay, so what? Why does this kind of abstract idea matter in your actual everyday life? Well, once you get this concept, it helps you see the entire world of finance in a completely different way. Let's make this super practical. Just take a second right now and think, what are 5 things you've bought in the last week? Could be anything, groceries, a movie ticket, a new shirt, paying your rent. Just get 5 things in your head. You got your list? Good. Now, imagine you had to barter for every single one of those items. What skills do you have, or what stuff do you own that your landlord or the grocery store or the movie theater would want in a direct trade? It gets really hard really quickly, doesn't it? And that is the key takeaway here. Money is one of the most powerful inventions in human history simply because it's a technology of simplification. It's the ultimate go-between. It lets your work as, say, a graphic designer get easily turned into groceries and rent and a cup of coffee, without you ever having to find a farmer who just so happens to need a new logo. So the form that money takes is always evolving, always adapting to the world we live in. It went from physical things, like shells, to totally abstract data, and that journey is far from over. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating final thought. As our world keeps changing, what will we all agree to use as money next?